picture of what it was like helping win this first medal for Australia and how that's going to serve you well moving forward with the Mavs?
Yeah, I mean, I think just being around the whole environment of the Australian team in general, it was awesome. Being able to take in as much as I could from the older guys, these veterans who not only, really great players, but also great players off the court and just being around in that environment. My times there were amazing, and, I think it helped everything. It helped my basketball and off the court, and, I think overall it was a really good experience. And, Olympics was obviously, it's just cool being around all the best athletes in the world and being able to experience that at the age of 20.
All right, Doyle, go ahead.
Hey, Josh. You had the opportunity to speak to Jason, and what have y'all discussed about your role coming up with the upcoming season?
Yeah, Coach has he's done a great job of being able to communicate with me, and I think we have a good plan coming forward. Started working out with my trainer again today, and I think it's just making sure I'm ready to go for training camp, and I can't wait for it. I feel like I've improved a lot, and I'm looking forward to it.
All right, Kevin Gray.
Kevin Gray, 105 through the Fan, Dallas, Texas. Hey, Josh, congratulations on medaling in the Olympics. What was the plan for you coming back home with respect to playing in Summer League, and what was the explanation about why you would not be participating in Summer League this year?
I mean, I think, a good explanation would probably be, time change is pretty hard to get adjusted to when you're coming back. Lately, I've been going to bed at about 8 a.m., waking up at 4. Today was the first day I was able to get to bed at around 11-ish, but I woke up at 3 in the morning. But I think everything, traveling as far as that, being around a team setting, I've 2 days after we were out in the playoff series, it's not like, I got straight on a plane, went out to Vegas to start training with my trainer and getting ready for next season, getting ready to be with the Australian team. So, whether it was the games or not the games, our practice was some of the hardest practices I've been involved in. Because at the end of the day, we were trying to get gold medal. We weren't just going to the Olympics just to attend the Olympics. So being around that competitive environment, and I was playing every single day. So, it's just one of those things about, what's best for my body and what's best for the team. But, it really just depends on the upcoming days.
All right, we've got a question from Jalen Brunson.
Josh, how you doing? Jalen Brunson here from the Dallas Mavericks. Just want to know, one, what age were you when you realized Maxi Kleber was your idol? That's the first question. Second question, what was your daily schedule during the Olympics? What were you doing? The people want to know. And third, what was the third question? No third question.
That's a good question, Jalen. Now I can see what you went to college for. To answer that, I would say Maxi's been an inspiration to everyone. I mean, I think from the day I got to Dallas, and as a kid, he's always been a great role model, and I just like how relaxed he is, how calm he is, and I try to take that consideration. I forgot your second question.
Olympic schedule.
My Olympic schedule?
Yeah, just day-to-day life.
That's a terrible question. And what was the third question?
No, he didn't have a third question.
All right. Thank you, Jalen.
Well, if you would have finished school, maybe you can answer my second question, but I decided not to. So have a great day, Josh.
Hey, Brad Thompson, go ahead.
Okay, you're going to make me follow that. All right.
Yeah, that's all right.
Going back to the Olympics, I saw a couple pictures with you and Luke. How much time did you guys get to spend with each other? You're obviously training with your individual teams. And, we all watched Luke on a world stage. What was it like to be part of that world stage and have him going off like that? Was he a pop star within the Olympic Village?
I mean, yeah, so for the most part, I'd see Luka around and, we would interact, talk, that's my guy. But, at the end of the day, when you come to Olympics, you want to be a part of the team. And I think we both did a good job of being able to connect with each other and talk to each other, but at the same time, be able to take in the whole team experience and being around our team, chemistry-wise, and just, it's just how it kind of works, especially with COVID restrictions. And, But yeah, I mean, it was great seeing him around. We were able to have some good conversations, and I mean, yeah, obviously, Luka's one of the best players in the world. So I'm pretty sure for anyone, it would be cool to be able to watch Luka.
All right, Tim Cato, go ahead.
Hey Josh, I grew up watching the Olympics. I'm sure you did. I have never been to the Olympics. What's it like actually going to that? Is there moments where you're like, wow, this is that? What's that experience like? Hopefully this question is a little bit different from what was your daily routine, which Jalen asked, because apparently that one's not good. But what is that experience? Just to be there.
Yeah, I mean, it was a pretty good question, but Jalen just pisses me off.
You gotta bring him down.
Yeah, he was feeling himself a little too much with his sunglasses. I mean, I would say, the Olympics is one of those things where, you can't turn it down. It's one of those things where, people say, why don't you just wait for Summer League and all that stuff. For me, it's way bigger than just basketball in general. Growing up as a kid, I was 8 years old, 10 years old, 12 years old. Whenever the Australian team would play any sport or anything, whether it was Tim Cahill and the Socceroos, I would wake up at like 4 in the morning, 3 in the morning, and watch them. I even watched Joe Ingles when I was like 10 years old when he first played for Australia. So, it goes way more than basketball being at the Olympics, and it's something you look at, and it still doesn't feel real to me. I was talking to my mom last night, and the whole emotions with my family when I was able to tell them that I was representing Australia is just it's something. You can't put it to words. And being around there, being around athletes who you watch as a kid and aspired to be like as a kid, all around there. It's awesome, and it's just one of those things you can't take for granted.
Kevin, go ahead.
Kind of speaking to some of that experience, obviously playing with the Australian team, what's one or two things that you could take with you in terms of the preparation or being around guys that you grew up watching who have played professionally as long as they have that you can take with you as you get ready for this upcoming season?
Yeah, I mean, I think being around some of the best shooters in the world, Australia, with Joe and Patty and Chris Golding, these are some players who I've been out to practice with every single day. I'm defending Joe every single day, going against Patty every single day. It's one thing, just being able to go against them, I've been able to learn so much, and being able to do it in a FIBA setting is kind of helped me out be able to slow down and be able to see the court more and, take the game one step at a time. And I feel like it's going to help me out a lot in the NBA level. And, I mean, obviously the group we had around us is some of the most competitive guys I've ever been around. And, these guys come fourth in the last 4, tournaments. And, since the day we landed in Irvine, everybody's mindset was to go for gold. And that's why I wear Crocs. And everyone on our team was wearing Crocs, and it says gold vibes only. And it's something I'm going to continue to go through just because, the way that they put it, it seems like it's a joke and everything like that. But me being a competitor, everything I do on the court is to be able to win the game. And then completely away from basketball, I'm around some of the best human beings like I've ever been around. It was like a family. Patty Mills, one of the greatest guys. Joe, Joe's Joe. Obviously, big talker in games and everything like that, but behind it all, amazing guy. Della Vadova, Baines. The veteran group was amazing. I could go on, and I think it explains more about, being from Australia, the pride we have in competing for Australia, and, just the togetherness, and it's something that I'm going to continue to do and, try to stay as close as I can to all my teammates and, yeah, moving forward, trying to just continue to go. So, yeah.
All right, let's take a couple more. Paul Gant, go ahead.
Josh, congratulations on getting the bronze medal. So you look at Australia, look at this team. 3 years from now, you talk about the talent you got. You got yourself, you got Ben Simmons. There's a lot of talent there in Australia, Thibault as well. Do you see you guys at some point, maybe 3 years from now, challenging for that gold medal?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think that's the goal we're going to come with every single time we step on the court now. I mean, I think all these old players from Andrew Gaze all the way back, Andrew Bogut retired like a couple years ago from the Australian team. Our goal is they've been out to make such a good platform for Australian basketball, and Australian basketball is growing a lot. So I think us being able to get this medal this year, it's the greatest accomplishment in Australian basketball history. But at the same time, I think, for the younger guys on the team, it's that step where we need to continue to be motivated. I'm 20 years old and I have a medal at the Olympics. That still hasn't registered to me. And I think, going forward now, it's continuing to grow off that. Next Olympics, I think we need to come together and, being around guys like Patty, if you saw half the stuff he did for our team to be close and for how serious he was, I wish I could just, do half of that. He's so dedicated and, it means so much to me and a lot of the younger guys coming up. So, yeah, I think going forward, we'll stick with the model of gold vibes only and, hopefully we can be competing, maybe against Luka in the final someday in Paris.
Okay, Dorothy?
Congrats on your medal. Talk a little bit about how you've grown over this past year, what you learned about yourself as a player and as a person.
I think just like what I've learned, it's been a crazy year with COVID and everything like that. And I think being able to focus on, basketball, but at the same time, the stuff which goes on outside of basketball and just being more calm in a basketball setting. When I came into training camp last year, I remember I got there, obviously very nervous, seeing all these guys you've watched before and everything like that. And then 4 days later, you're playing against Giannis. For me, it was pretty, it was like, wow. But, I think over time I've been able to, really calm down a lot, focus on what I need to do. I watch a lot of film. My trainer sits down with me, watch a lot of film. I like watching guys like, Richard Hamilton and players like that, a lot of two-way players who, I can just try to learn from. Obviously, your first year isn't going to go as everything you expected. So for me, it's just sitting back, knowing what I have to work on. I've been working on it for the last 6 months. I was lucky enough at the Olympics I could work out every day in the weight room and everything like that. So I think I've always taken a professional mindset, but I think just being able to grow off that and learn little things from older guys and be able to take in as much knowledge as I can. And, now having a coach like Coach Kidd, one of the greatest point guards of all times and defensive-minded point guard. So being able to pick up a lot of stuff from him has been a huge thing of mine. So I think just being able to stick to that, I think that's one thing that I've continued to work on. And just my competitive nature will keep making me do that.
All right, one last question from Chuck Cooperstein.
Hey, Josh, and I guess this kind of piggybacks on what you were just saying. How much skill work were you able to do in the process of playing with the Australians? And do you have a sense from the work that you have done how that will translate ultimately to you playing with the Mavericks and what the Mavericks have asked of you? And I guess for that matter, what the Mavericks have asked of you, did that dovetail at all with the work that you were doing?
Yeah, like I said, 2 or 3 days after Dallas, I was going to Las Vegas. Me and my trainer had a plan on what we need to do and what we need to improve on. So I was able to spend like 3 weeks with him, getting in the gym every single day, being around other players and, getting up and down. And then from Irvine, just because we're in a Boomers camp, I made sure that in my spare times, sometimes I'll be out late at night, 11, like going out at like 11 o'clock and shooting with one of the coaches and working out with one of the coaches. So, just because, obviously we had the focus of the Olympics, but at the same time, it's a big development year for me. So everything that I usually would have done, I did the same, whether it was in Tokyo or Las Vegas, Irvine, everything, So for me, it was being able to continue to have the mindset of getting better. And I think I was able to do that. I think I'm very happy with the way I've been. I think I'm in the best shape I've been in a very long time. And yeah, obviously now, starting from today, it's just growing off that. We're going to sit down again, talk with the coaches and, see where it goes from here. But, my goal is just making sure that when it comes to training camp, I'm as ready as I can go and, just ready to prove myself.